So no one from the outside can actually see anything on here before it goes through that process.
Absolutely. It stays in our warehouse in a secure facility. We have to accumulate about 45,000 pounds, about 22 tons, which is a tractor-trailer load, before it goes to the paper mill in North Carolina. They send down a truck. It goes right from the truck right into the paper mill. And when this stuff gets dropped into the baler and it gets compressed into these huge blocks, there's no way of really putting two pieces of paper together.
Sure, it's all mixed together. All the blocks are, I mean, everything's mixed together. Yeah, that's tremendous.
It's a much needed service. And
your headquarters location is here in Horry County.
Right, we founded it at Myrtle Beach, and we're located at the back gate, the former back gate of the Air Force Base, one traffic light south of it. And the sign outside says Shred Alert. We go by two names, Shred Alert and Shredright.
Right.
Shredright is our corporate name.
Sure.
The Shred Alert is what we're doing business as. We also are offering franchises nationwide.
Is that right? For Shred Alert?
Shred Alert, correct.
So viewers could check that out online. You
can go to whyshred.com, W-H-Y,
right.
shred.com.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that's very important. Of course, a lot of viewers now, would you serve, I know you highlighted from New Hanover down to Georgetown. For our viewers in southeastern North Carolina, Robinson and Scotland County, or up in Florence, Marion, Dillon, Darlington, Marlborough counties, would you actually serve that area as well, or is that too far?
It depends on the
volume.
The volume that they would have.
Right.
Because what we want to do is give the best possible service to our local companies.
Sure.
We could branch out across the state, but then service starts to diminish.
Oh, yeah.
And especially with the price of fuel and the way the economy's going, and businesses are pinching pennies today.
Right.
They're wanting to look at the bottom line, and it may not be something that they may. So for us to drive all the way to Florence for one customer, but we are part of an association we call IDA, the Independent Document Destruction Association, and we work with other companies such as us.
Right.
They're in Florence, they're in Greenville, they're in Charleston, they're in Hilton Head, and we will share our customers and our accounts. So if they do have if a customer in Myrtle Beach may also be located in Florence, we'll call one of our
peers.
Yeah, and they'll do the work out there.
But of course, if a viewer in Florence is watching and they contact you about possibly franchising there in Florence,
absolutely,
you'd consider that.
Sure.
And of course, the opportunity there to travel up there and to essentially show them the business, or it's very easy for them to get down here and see your tremendous facility.
We have a whole plan in place that would require them to come here and work with us, and I would actually physically go to wherever their location is and stay with them for a few weeks. So
that's tremendous. How exciting. So they can learn about the franchising opportunities online at whyshred.com as well?
Correct. Yes.
How exciting, Adam. That's a great feeling to get the ball rolling so that you can actually set the stage for folks to open up franchises. And a great brand like Shred Alert surely makes it easy to do. This magnificent restaurant here east of Chicago, of course, is a great franchise. Later this week, Perry Ludy will be with us, who owns the Dunkin' Donuts here in the 8-county market area, and has, in the same way, franchising opportunities are wonderful.
Absolutely.
That is great news. What about some other products here that can actually be shredded?
Well, not only do we shred paper, but we shred uniforms. We do uniforms for law enforcement, medical. We handle certain restaurants around here that have a lot of different locations where we'll destroy hats and ties, anything with the company name on. And you may say, why would you want to shred a uniform? Well, if a uniform gets damaged and tossed in the dumpster, somebody can put that uniform on, whether it's a restaurant uniform or a medical uniform or law enforcement, and impersonate that person.
Right.
And so that's one of the reasons. We also handle, for the federal government out at the Transportation Security Administration, we do out at the airport. We shred uniforms for them, too.
Is that right?
That's correct.
For the Myrtle Beach International Airport.
Yes. We also can shred computer diskettes.
Oh, great.
Any type of electronic media or videotapes.
Yeah,
and
these videotapes right there.
That's one videotape in there. That's what it looks like when it comes out.
Wow.
This is one. You can see how the tape gets destroyed.
Yeah,
There's no
absolutely. There is categorically no way that anyone could do anything with that.
And this is, I put 2 discs in here because the chips are so small.
You really shred it up, yes.
And then this is a new service that we're providing. We just bought a new piece of equipment. A lot of people may not be comfortable with the hard drives in their computers being wiped or cleaned, as they call today.
Right.
Our machine actually punches a hole through the hard disk. Inside here would be a disk just like a a CD-ROM, but it's very rigid and metal-like.
Right.
And the machine will punch through the hard drive, and it just shatters inside the hard drive. You can see the force in which it puts out when it comes out the other side. And then after we do this, we will send these to a recycling center that melts them and takes the precious metals. There's silver and gold and platinum on some of these connections, and they melt these things down. But the actual disc is completely destroyed. There's no way. As a matter of fact, a little piece of one just came out.
Sure.
There's no way.
No way that it can be utilized again.
And it's a very cheap service for people to come. This whole service is very inexpensive.
This is particularly to cover the federal regulations that all small businesses are under, and I think you highlighted probably nowhere north of 10% of the folks, even in our viewing area, are really thinking about those requirements. Is anyone calling on them to remind them they actually have to destroy all that?
There's the law that came into effect several years ago called HIPAA, and everyone should be familiar with HIPAA because when you go to your physician's office now, you have to fill out some additional paperwork. But HIPAA affects not just the medical industry, but it can affect the hospitals, it can affect pharmacies, nursing homes, anything with a person's name and a medical condition must be destroyed. And HIPAA came out strong, and HIPAA does remind the medical industry that they should destroy.
That's right.
We do a lot of banks, doctors, lawyers, accounting firms, insurance company, and our busiest industry is the timeshare industry.
Is that right?
And when you think about timeshare, you think about like a project that may have 100 units in it.
Right.
But they sell one unit 52 times a year. Mm-hmm. So you have 52 sets of financial information, and 52 sets of Social Security numbers, and 52 sets of personal private.
Right.
So it lends itself to knowing you must destroy this stuff. If you toss it in the dumpster, the Supreme Court's ruled items left for waste collection are no longer protected as private property. Mm-hmm. So anybody can go into a dumpster, hence the phrase dumpster diver.
Right.
So we try to protect that.
Shred Alert still has the ability to actually shred their own site. For some companies that say, I don't want you to leave with my stuff and take it to your warehouse here in Horry County, you still have the ability to do some basic shredding their own site if need be.
Sure. We purchased a brand new piece of equipment in 2008.
Right.
And it's a high-speed document destruction vehicle.
Right.
And we can show up right in your parking lot and destroy the records while you wait.
Sure. I'm sure a lot of businesses aren't concerned about that. They know you're obviously doing all the shredding close by, and they're not worried about folks driving off with that information. I'm sure it's a secure truck. But for folks who might be concerned.
And there are, when you think about, you already trust the Postal Service and couriers and armored car companies to handle your most sensitive documents and records.
Oh, yeah.
Why not trust a professional shredding contractor to haul away your garbage, so to speak? So we haul it away. It's secured in a vehicle. It goes to a facility that's secured. Alarms. It's got 16 cameras, monitored.
Tremendous.
And if a customer didn't want to come to the facility, I can give them a passcode. They can go online, see their stuff being brought in, and shred just from their computer in their office.
That's tremendous.
So we try to offer everything we possibly can. It's just more cost efficient to do it in a warehouse-based system than it would be to have these trucks on the road.
Yeah.
And a lot of companies don't want that big, noisy truck in their parking lot shredding papers, and you're still opening the container in the parking lot. In the warehouse, they're locked containers. They get put in a locked truck. They're rolled into the shop lock, and the only time it's open is under camera. So there's an argument either way, whether you want on-site or off-site.
This is an example of one of the pieces that would be in someone's business that you could literally, they dropping stuff in, and then you just pick this up and take it back to the warehouse.
That is correct. This is a new piece of a new container that we're offering, and you have to be a customer already with the larger containers, and if you are, we offer this at a much reduced price, and this is for underneath your desk.
Right.
So if you're an insurance company, let's say, and your employees are handling personal information, they can just toss it in here. It's locked.
Right.
The manager would have the key in case something gets discarded.
Tremendous.
And we would come. We just pick this whole container up, put a new one down, and just move on. But this only costs $10 a month.
Is that all?
In our executive service, our console service, we put in a container made of wood with a paper slot, a chute, and a locking door.
Right.
And it costs $35 a month. And you can put in anything, papers, records, staples, paper clips.
Right.
It doesn't matter. And you think about $1 a day. It's probably the least expensive service you can have in your business.
Right.
But mandated by state and federal law.
Sure.
And probably one of the most important to avoid a lawsuit. Because if you get charged with it, there's hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fines.
Right.
And then you have potential for lawsuits when you go to, if your information got compromised and you can identify it happened at a certain facility, you know, it's going to take you 14 to 16 months just to clear your record again.
Absolutely.
And a lot of money. So,
Adam, I'm embarrassed to say I don't think I've done my job well this morning. We have run out of time, but thank you so much for being with us this morning. I've sure learned a lot about Shredright. Had no idea how reasonably priced it was. I'm so glad you got some of that out. Shred Alert is really doing some great things.
I sure appreciate it.
Keep it up. Stay tuned to a little more Carolina People with Adam Parness, the owner and founder of Shred Alert, coming up next. We ran out of time. We couldn't get into this Shred Alert not just being for businesses. It's also for residents. If you need to get something shredded, take the time to give them a call, 843-294-4400, 294-4400, or go online to whyshred.com. I love this quote right from the front page of whyshred.com of Adams. The safety and security of your sensitive documents is as important to me as it is to your company. But he's also talking to you residents. If you're in your home, you need to get something done, give him a call, 294-4400. We ran out of time. We couldn't focus on his recent trip to Israel and his tremendous experiences over there. We'll have to get him back another time. Adam Parness, doing a lot and doing it every day. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Absolutely.